Well, after years of dreaming about it, months of preparation and planning, today is the day. This is day one of my month-long adventure to the Arctic Circle, and this is just the starting point, the first place I'll be camping. Traveled over 400 miles today. I'm just south of Bridgeport, California on this beautiful creek out here, which is pretty loud. You can probably hear that behind me. What I'm going to do right now is set up camp, and then what I would like to start with is something that I've been getting asked a lot, and that is, what am I taking with me on this trip? And so we'll do a little bit of a walk around inside the vehicle and inside the trailer, and I'll show you kind of the stuff I'm packing. But first, let's get set up. Now the biggest piece of gear, and probably arguably the best asset that I'm taking with me, is the Patriot Camper's X3 trailer. This is my home away from home. This has everything I need, including a very nice shelter that has a diesel heater so we can stay nice and warm when I get up into the Arctic Circle. We've got 40 gallons of water. I got hot water so I can take a shower if I need to. This has got 200 amp hours of lithium battery on here, and I've changed things up a little bit on how I'm cooking, which I'll talk a little bit about. I've got my kitchen, I've got all the storage, and I've tried not to jam pack this thing too full. I've tried to be very reasonable about what I packed, but I've got a lot of gear in here that's gonna help me do everything I need to do to have a great time. Let me finish setting up the tent. I'll open up some drawers and show you what's inside. All right, I know the stream's a little loud, but that's just because we're right next to it. Once we get to the other side, it'll quiet down a little bit. But I'll tell you what, that's gonna put me to sleep, and I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight. Okay, let's start with what's in this drawer. First of all, I have lots of 1 gallon and 2.5 gallon Ziploc bags, and that's really for leftover food and for trash. I don't like using a trash bag. I like using the sealable Ziploc bags for trash because it keeps the scent down from, critters, and it's really just makes it easier to throw away when we get to like a gas station stop or whatnot. Here I have a single burner jet boil, and then I also have just the regular little jet boil just in case I want to make some soup. I've got a couple propane bottles, butane bottle. In here is headlamps, flashlights, and like power cords for different things. I've got lots of paper towels. In this little case right here is bug spray, head nets, sunblock. I don't know if we're gonna have a problem with bugs. We might be early enough in the season. It's still gonna be cold up there, we'll see. And then I've got some bear spray in here, which this will make its way towards the front the further north we get, and I'm gonna actually pick up a couple more of these. I just need to get out of California because they're stupid about these. I do have some earplugs. And I'll tell you, earplugs can be an invaluable tool when you're out camping, because if you find yourself in a really nasty windstorm, sometimes throwing in some earplugs is going to be the only piece you're going to get while you're trying to sleep, and just being able to knock out that wind is super nice. So that's pretty much all that's in this drawer. Let me show you what's in here. All right, when you open up the trailer, the floor is a great area for storage. And so what I have in here is I have my 90-liter tote bag, and this has all my clothes, all my hygiene things in here. And look, 28, 29 days, I don't have a piece of clothing for everyone. A lot of clothes are gonna get worn multiple days. That's just how it is. But I did bring plenty of body wipes, and I do have a shower. So hopefully by the time I see Regina, which, by the way, she's gonna fly in and meet me in Canada on my way home, and so hopefully I won't stink too bad when she sees me. Also, I've got my swimsuit in here because when we make it to the Arctic Ocean, I'm going in. Underneath this is the Starlink. I had hoped to have Starlink hard mounted onto the Gladiator for this trip, but I just didn't have time. But I need to have Starlink with me. To be gone this long, I need to be able to be, one, in touch with Regina, and two, there's just things I gotta be responsible for while I'm gone. I can't be off the grid as much as I'd like to for that long a period of time. I've got some snow boots. Hopefully I won't need those, but it's possible we could find ourselves in some snow. And then down here I have our portable toilet. What I like is that drawer that I showed you earlier. This bench lifts up, and I can access all that stuff here from the inside as well. And then this bench over here, I have basically duty bags for the toilet, so we can dispose of that in the trash. Got toilet paper, got some towels if I want to take a shower. I've got a little battery operated fan. This just charges up by USB-C, so this is nice. I don't think I'll need a fan on this trip. It's going to be pretty chilly. And then I have fishing tackle box, which I still need to finish assembling. There's a down blanket in there, and I got my fishing pole. Hopefully, I'm not fishing here, but hopefully when we get up north, we'll catch something. All right, moving around to the kitchen. On the top shelf here, I have pots and pans, bowls, and plates, and I changed out these pots and pans just a week ago because I'm not bringing a conventional propane stove with me. There is that one single burner on the side in case I need it, but I am using induction this trip. Something that I've been using with the van for a while because the van has a lot of power, and induction cooking is just, it's really simple because when it's windy or when it's cold, you get instant heat. You don't have to fight with the flame going in and out, and so I really like that, but I needed to have ferrous metal pots and pans to work with the induction stove. Now, the trailer has 200 watts of lithium batteries, and that's because I just recently swapped those out. They originally had 250 amp hour gel batteries, and I swapped them out with lithium because one, lithium, well, there's a huge argument to have there, but one, I saved a ton of weight, a lot of weight, and two, that lithium power, all of it is usable, whereas the gel power starts to fall off, the voltage starts to fall off. Cutting board underneath there. In here is kind of a French press. We've got our tea kettle, which I can't get out at the moment because I have to pull the French press. All coffee cups, lots of olive oil, and just a little trick, if you have, this isn't glass, but if you have anything that's glass, use a koozie to protect your stuff when you're traveling. So you can see we use koozies a lot for this kind of stuff. So there's that. We got some hot pads in there, and then down below is Regina's amazing spice rack, which I'll be doing some cooking, and so she's got everything in here. I probably won't even use 3/4 of it. I'll probably just be salt and pepper and a little bit of garlic salt here and there. More paper towels. So the little basket just has like some hot chocolate in here, salt and pepper. I've got some cleaning supplies, and of course some dish towels. So that's what's inside the kitchen. Oh, and this basket is falling apart. Regina, you didn't see that. Oh, and then this. So this is something I don't normally carry, but because we're heading up to the Arctic Circle, and it's summertime, the nights are very short. Well, it shouldn't be terribly short. We should still get several hours of darkness, but they're getting shorter and shorter. And so just in case, I can black it out and go to sleep. So I brought one of these. I probably need to put this inside the tent, but I just want to make sure I didn't forget that. All right, let me show you what's in the fridge. Now, something a little different that I'm doing this trip, which I haven't done before, is this is a 75-liter dual zone fridge. And I've actually never used half of this as a freezer, and that's what we're doing this trip. So in this side, I have lots of meats. I got some shrimps, I got some ribeyes, I got some pre-marinated chicken, we got some fish, more chicken, lots of meat in here. I probably have maybe 2 weeks worth of meals here. Obviously we can resupply along the way, but I wanted to make sure I had a good start. And then on this side, I've got some eggs, and then the thawed meats, so stuff that I'm going to eat kind of right away. And what I'll do is kind of cycle it out. As I eat something, I'll pull something from the freezer and put it in here, and then I'll give it time to thaw. I got cheese, deli meats, blueberries, cheese sticks, and then I have lots and lots of canned water. And the reason I like canned water is, one, I don't know, there's just something about drinking out of a can that I like. It just, I don't know, it's nicer than drinking out of a plastic bottle. Plus, they're easier to recycle, and when it comes time to throw them away here in the trash, you can crush a can down, whereas bottles take up a lot of trash space. And there's going to be days where we're going to be remote for a while, and I want to really kind of keep trash to a minimum. Now, the 40 gallons of water that's on the trailer is all drinkable. I pre-filter that, but I really like to save that for washing dishes and cleaning up and cooking with. I want to have drinking water be separate, plus it allows me to bring more water. So anyway, that's what's in the fridge. There is one more fridge though. You notice there's no vegetables in here, so we'll talk about that in a second. All right, when you're packing for a month, things fill up pretty quickly. So I do have a secondary fridge here. I think this is a 25-liter fridge. Normally I put just drinks in there because it's easy to access, but I have so many veggies, because again, I'm trying to eat well, guys, that they actually wouldn't fit in the fridge in there. And so that thing is packed full of vegetables that I'll be cooking alongside some of those meats. I have another thing of drinks down here. So I have two front runner soft cases. The bottom one is drinks and the top one is just all snacks. They're all low carb snacks, things like beef jerky that doesn't have any sugar, meat sticks that are from grass raised cows. So trying to eat healthy. There's some snacks in here that are like, okay, it's processed cookie, but it's a keto cookie. So there's a little bit of balance. I mean, I don't want to run into the gas stations and be grabbing food if I'm hungry. At least I have some snacks that are semi-healthy with me. I got my laptop back here because I need to make sure that I back up data along the way, and I need to check some emails. And then here I've got a regular jacket, I've got a rain jacket, and then I have a new to me Gore-Tex down jacket. I'm in San Diego, and that's not something that I normally need, but for this trip, I bought that just for this trip. I got my chair over here, and then down below I have two drones, which I don't normally take. So I have my new drone, which is the Mavic 3 Pro, and then I have my old drone, which is the Mavic 2 Zoom, I think. And that's just because if something happens, halfway through the trip and with my drone and it doesn't work, or I crash it, or who knows, at least I have a backup, because the last thing I want to do is not be able to capture some amazing scenery that we're going to be getting along the way. So up front, I got my camera bag, and yeah, everything else is pretty standard stuff that I've talked about. That's couple more storage compartments actually that we need to talk about. In the back of the truck. Oh, there's a lot of stuff actually. Now, inside the bed of the truck, I've kept things pretty minimalist back here. I didn't want to put a ton of weight in here, but we do have some very important things. First of all, there are 4 jerry cans, 5-gallon cans, so I have a total of 20 gallons of fuel back here. These are very high-grade jerry cans, and they seal extremely well. I've used these for years. I'm not worried about carrying fuel inside this bed cap, the Overland Vehicle Systems bed cap. It actually has a vent where air comes in and it comes out through the tailgate. This isn't completely sealed, although ultimately that is my goal, but I'm not worried about carrying fuel in here. I know that somebody will say something about it. Then over here I have a hard case that has impact wrenches, some other sockets, some specialty tools, a couple spare parts, brake lines, little things like that. I'm not going to break that open because I've got this all strapped down and I don't want to have to get it. And then back here in the corner is something that I wasn't going to forget this trip, and that's a chainsaw, because we may need that. Over here on the wall I have another first aid kit. I have the TrailRecon first aid kit up there. This was actually given to me by the folks that helped me design our TrailRecon first aid kit, so I have an extra one. Over here I just have a big kinetic rope. And then on the other side of this molly panel, there's a small hand axe, a knife if I need it. So that's all that's in the truck bed. All right, this is what's called the man cave. And it's because it has a barbecue grill in here, I think. So this is a Weber barbecue grill. I still have propane tanks, so I can hook up the grill if I want to. I also have an Ignic fire pit, so if I want to have a fire without burning wood at camp, we can do that. It's interesting because there's some fires already raging up in Canada, and I wouldn't be surprised if they don't limit campfires while we're up there. So on the way here, there was actually a forest fire probably about 15 miles away, which is kind of sad to see. Hopefully that gets extinguished. Also in here is just kind of some knickknacks. I got some rubber boots in case we find ourselves in some deep mud. I've got some hot pads, just a little bucket for collecting my drain water. I've got power cables. This is the shower hose. This is the diesel tank for the diesel heater. So this is responsible for heating the inside of the tent and for the hot water. And this is good for about 3 days before I need to fill it up. So that's something I'll definitely have to be keeping an eye on. We shouldn't have any problem having access to diesel. So that's what's in the man cave. Now, there's a storage unit here that has 4 cases in there. I'm gonna pull those out and I'll talk about what's in those. All right, so I got 4 more of these soft cases that all fit into that side panel back there. And what I have is this one is nothing but tools and spare parts specifically for the trailer. You know, having a trailer is kind of like having a second vehicle, and it needs to kind of have its own specific parts and tools and whatnot. And so I have a regular tool bag inside the Jeep. In fact, I didn't tell you guys what's under the goose gear. I just forgot I didn't do that. So we'll go back and talk about that. But yes, there's specific stuff for the trailer, and this stays in here. Another one of these just full of water. So I have 2 of these full of drinking water, and I'm telling you, this will probably be gone in about 2 weeks. You gotta stay hydrated, guys. You really gotta stay hydrated. In here is a hose and a filter, and that's for filling up the water tank. I'm not sure how much access we're gonna have to be able to fill up, but I did bring a funnel, and this allows me to, you know, buy a gallon jug of water. I could buy a couple and kind of top off this as we go along, so we don't have to find a dedicated faucet somewhere and ask permission to do that. So I got the funnel for this trip. Now in here is the important thing. So this is my percolator. This is an electric percolator, and I've started using this recently for a couple reasons. I still have the French press, but I love this thing. First of all, I love the flavor of percolated coffee, and if you haven't tried the TrailRecon Adventure Blend, I encourage you to do that. But this is electric, so it brews extremely fast. I'm not fighting, again, with the flame and the cold. Plus, it keeps it hot for about 2 hours, where when I make a pot of coffee on a standard one, it's usually cold within 15 to 30 minutes, and so this keeps it nice and hot. I'm really happy with it. I mean, I know it's more aesthetically pleasing to have like an old rustic percolator over an open flame, but honestly, this is way more practical. Okay, we need to talk about what's in the goose gear. I forgot there's a whole bunch of stuff in there we haven't talked about. Okay, I can't believe I almost forgot to show you guys all this stuff. There's a lot of important stuff down here. Okay, this is my tool bag, and this has got pretty much every hand tool that I could need. There's also things like fuses and duct tape and, you know, little knickknacks, lots of zip ties, and that's right on top, because more often than not, that's the first thing that I need to grab down here, and so I should make sure that that's not stuffed underneath a bunch of stuff. I have a multimeter here. There is a tire repair kit. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 ratchet straps, and I think there's more ratchet straps in the trailer. You cannot have enough ratchet straps. Then I have my recovery bag, which has got toe straps and soft shackles in there. Hopefully I don't need that. And then the last thing in here, it's surprising how much stuff you can actually cram in here. It packs pretty well. This is the tall goose gear platform. It's not the short one. Then I have the Safe Jack bottle jack, and I think that's a pretty important thing to have. And don't just take a regular old jack with you. You need something just in case you get in a precarious situation, and if you have a lifted vehicle and bigger tires. All right, let me put all this away. I'll show you what's on the other side. I can't tell you how many hours I spent packing and repacking for this trip, but I think I've got everything. I'm confident I do. Now, before I left, I did a full service on the Jeep, so it's got all new oil, all new filters everywhere, but I did bring a new cabin filter and a new air filter because I think after spending hundreds of miles on the dirt on the way up there, I'm probably just going to swap those out. I'm sure they're going to get pretty nasty. I got a lot of cleaning supplies in here because you know, when you make videos for a living, you want to keep your windows clean, and makes it nice and pleasant for you guys to look out, so you're not looking out at bugs. Plus, you know, cleaning some of the dust off the dash from time to time is nice. So I've got quite a few towels in here. I've got a big crowbar, and then in here I have a jump starter kit. This is a what is this? This is a Noco 150. It says it's 4,000 amps. All I know is every time I've used it, it starts great. I used one of those smaller ones a long time ago, and that didn't work very well at all. The good news is in about 3 days I'm meeting up with somebody, and so hopefully I won't even need to worry about that because I'll have somebody with me. Next to that, there's a towel. There's a bunch of these little kind of washcloths, glass cleaner. That's pretty much it inside of here. Okay, so there you have it. There's the inventory of what I'm taking with me to the Arctic Circle. Now, I think what I'm going to do is go relax by the creek for a little bit and probably put a jacket on here in a minute because it's already starting to cool down, and cook up some chow. Well, quick and easy. Chicken and asparagus. And I'll just tell you, the asparagus is incredible. When I was a kid, I hated asparagus. Now, I can't get enough of it. I could almost eat it at every meal. The chicken, oh. It's pre-cooked, pre-seasoned, super fast to heat up. This was a nice, quick, and healthy meal. I'm gonna go enjoy it by the creek.